Hello, my name is Natasha Thompson, and I want to talk to you for a moment about building your own brand on social media. There are a few steps you need to follow, and it all begins with figuring out who you want to be on social media. What are your objectives? Why have you chosen to engage on Twitter or Facebook or maybe write your own blog? Once you're clear about that, you can take the next step to think about who your target audience is. Your target audience are obviously the people who will help you achieve your objective. In case of a company like SAP, that would be who would potentially buy your products or recommend your products. In my case, as a social media practitioner, I am looking for people who would like my consulting services, but I'm also trying to educate and network with other social media practitioners. Once you figured this out, who your target audience is, the really hard work starts. That is, where are those people? And I recommend that you invest some time and effort into that step, because just opening a Twitter handle and thinking that people will come usually doesn't work. So find out where those people are. Do they read blogs? Do they tweet? Are they on Facebook? Depending on what you find, maybe there are communities that already exist where people engage. See how you can engage in those places. Bring your information to your target audience. That doesn't mean you can't set up your own channels, but be aware that that is an even bigger resource investment, because you will have to have regular content on those channels. Now be very clear on exactly what you're trying to communicate on those channels. For example, I teach yoga and I do social media, but I very rarely mix this on my handle or on any kind of postings I make, simply because I think it's not relevant to the target audience. The people who want to learn about social media, most of them probably don't care about yoga and vice versa. So keep that straight or you'll lose your audience. And then have a personality. Be yourself, but be yourself at the office, not yourself at the pub. But show people that you're a real person. That's what social media really helps us to do. Then the next step is to think about, once you figure out where your target audience is, how do you prioritize those channels? Don't bite off too much right away. Go where you think you have the biggest bang for the buck. Could also be that there are earned versus paid media channels. So how much resource investment do you want to make in terms of your own time and money? So prioritize the channels and then create your messaging. Each audience you have might require separate messaging. Be very clear about that. And put together a content calendar. You can share content that you discover on the internet using tools like Google Alerts and social mention and newsletters. You could tweet that out, adding your own insights. But also you want to create original content. So if you are planning to write your own blog, put together a content calendar. There will be days where you want to post a blog that week, but you're too busy, so having a pipeline is beneficial. And have a regular schedule. I recommend tweet at least once a day, write a blog at least once a month, ideally every week. And on Facebook, if you have a page, you should also make a posting at least every day. And that's just putting information out there. Really, your goal is to engage with your audience, so you should be looking on those channels to see if there were comments or people would like to actually talk to you about things, and then be there for them. If you are not monitoring your channels, you don't know if negative things are being said about you, which you want to reverse, but also you're really missing the point of social media, in my opinion, because social media is there to engage and reach people. Then once you've figured all of this out, think about what you want to measure. And of course it depends on your objectives, but if I want to have a successful blog, I could measure how many people have subscribed to my blog, how many views do I have, how many comments. But it depends on your target audience, what the audience is likely to do. Some audiences do not comment much, so don't get into despair, and also a blog can take months to take off. You have to search engine optimize it, etc., etc. Then there could be qualitative goals, things that you only find out by talking to people, anecdotal evidence. But I think there's some basics, like for Twitter, you can use tools like TweetReach to figure out how many impressions you generate, how many retweets, who are your main followers. Blog, obviously, the views. It's harder if you blog on somebody else's site to get those metrics. LinkedIn, you could see if you post comments in a group, how many conversations ensue as a result of that. And Facebook, obviously, do you get likes and the kind of engagement that you're looking for. And there's lots of tools, if you Google, that are for free. If you want to be very sophisticated, I recommend investing into either a bigger solution or outsourcing it, which is absolutely a viable solution. So then you're ready to go, and don't be hard on yourself. It might take some experimenting. Some of the channels you'll only find out if they're good channels once you engage. Have some fun with it, but don't make it your number one job. As you do it, you might learn more about the time investment that's needed, and depending on that, fine-tune your strategy. So I wish you good luck with that in 2012, and I hope to see you on social media. I'm at N.A. Thompson on Twitter.